Okay, quick update. Today is it's either the 8th or 9th. It is the second Wednesday in June, we'll go with that. So as you can see, I did get a pretty good start on the bathroom floor. I believe I did this Monday night. It only took me about an hour and a half to lay this, so it's a very easy install. The reason I ran out of tile was kind of a funny story. When Emily was here on Sunday, we took a kind of a random trip to the next town south of here to kind of visit and get something to eat. We saw a tile saw there, so we visited this tile shop, not saw, shop, and saw this, decided to purchase it, kind of an arbitrary purchase, so I hadn't done any measurements. So all I did was laid 5 pieces of this on the showroom floor and looked up at Emily and said, the bathroom's not huge, 35 pieces of this should cut it. Well, as you can see, that's where 35 pieces got me. So I'm a little shy there, probably about 50% off. We'll blame it on being famished and sleep deprived. So actually we'll blame it on Emily since Emily's not here to defend herself. It was my first time seeing her in 7 days, so I was distracted. So we'll go with that. But in reality, a little common sense would have gone a long way because I knew the vanity was 48 inches. I knew I had 30 inches from the end of the vanity to the tub because it meets code, the 15 inches on each side of the center of the toilet. So a simple 7 times 5 is 35, add 5. I have a linen closet here. Wouldn't have to cover the entire under the vanity there. But that's what happens when you do not do prior proper planning. But that's a pretty big blunder there. My first blunder of the project. Actually, the second blunder. We won't talk about the first one. It's kind of embarrassing. But there you go. That's the shower floor right now. It's looking good. Yeah, so then on over to the kitchen. As you can see, last night I did start the demolition on this wall here in that pantry. I would have guessed I would have finished that in 2 hours, but I believe around 10 p.m. last night, started around probably 5 or 6. My saw broke, so I decided to call it, but as you can see, it didn't take 2 hours. Little did I know that I was actually demoing a tornado shelter, is what it seemed like. But no, in reality, I probably wasted 2 hours by trying to preserve some of these boards. With the cost of lumber, I was hoping to save some. I mean, 2x4s right now are like $8 a piece, so I figured if I could save 15, 20 boards, that would be worth it. But after playing around with those for about an hour and a half or whatever, I gave up and just knocked out the saw. So we do have some surprising, I should say unexpected, fun challenges ahead. This electric behind here is way more complicated than I had expected. I was honestly hoping for only 2 or 3 wires here, but as you can see, I think I have 9. A lot of main runs to the box I think are going through this, so I need to figure out a solution for that. I was thinking 1 main run for the outlets on the island, and then I figured 1 for the refrigerator. I don't know, in the 4 states I have completed construction projects, whether remodeling or building houses. Refrigerators are always on a dedicated 15 amp. This is on a 20, so I don't know if it's dedicated or not. I'll have to play around with the electric box to look into that. Like I said, I was tired last night, so I went to bed, so I didn't do a whole lot of research on this. The rest of these are pretty straightforward. Yeah, I knew this one here was the light to these can lights in the ceiling or pot lights, so I figured I would just kill that because I don't think we're going to use those on the ceiling. This was this garbage disposal, which I know is not dedicated, so I figured it was just piggybacked. But electric became a lot more complicated. The good thing is when you step through here on the other side, step over this wire without getting shocked, it does really open things up. So you can kind of see what I was trying to get at before. Once I knock all this out, this is going to be a huge open common area. So it'll be a fun project. Do have some more electric and plumbing. I knew I was going to have to trench under the concrete to move this supply line for the refrigerator. So I'll have to do that. This is interesting. I've never seen this before. Must be a Florida thing, but I like it. That's good. Taking precautionary measures. I like it. The electric here is pretty straightforward. I am going to have to move this switch here to another wall most likely this wall over here. This switch I can fill, I don't need that anymore. This one here has me a little confused. This is a single pole switch just for the dining room light here. So you have the power in, but what's confusing me is this is actually a 14-3 wire. Should be a 14-2. 14-3 is used for 3-ways and it's on a single pole switch. So I do know that I'll be moving this switch to this wall here, but I'll have to do a little research on that. So another update on the kitchen. The more Emily and I talked about this, thought about it, we started questioning the functionality of the kitchen. I think I told on the first video, our original plan was just to keep most of this here, close this door in, have this refrigerator sit up against that door, have a little coffee nook here, coffee pantry, whatever you want to call it. I think we're still going to move the refrigerator over here, but instead of perpendicular with this wall, we're gonna have it flush up against this wall, but I'll still have to close this door in to give it enough room there. So still going to do that. We said, I think I said we were gonna extend this about 4 or 5 feet, halfway through this pantry, and then have a very large island here. But then the more we thought about it, thinking of the functionality of a kitchen, you know the general rules, the triangle rule, the 4 feet from countertop to other countertop. And right here we have, it's actually 10 feet 9 inches, I believe, from this countertop to this countertop. So a very long walk to the sink. So Emily had a kitchen designer come out here Sunday when she was here, and we have some new ideas. We're kind of brainstorming right now. We haven't decided yet, but we may turn this into an L, have this bump out, have the kitchen sink here. Or what we may do is just do away with all of this, start with a clean slate, and go with a double cabinet 5x10 island in the middle with the sink and the island and the dishwasher. So we're still contemplating that, not really sure, but as you can see, it is definitely a lot more open now. I should get the rest of this out today. So today is Wednesday. I believe I'm taking today off. I think the law of diminishing returns is kicking in. My output isn't matching my input as far as time. It's time to take a break. So I think I'm going to make a store run today. I have to buy a new saw. I broke my saw. Yeah, so right now the focus is, what I'm trying to focus on right now is, I believe this Saturday I have a company coming out to remove all of the garbage. As you can see, I'm starting, between gutting bathrooms and this, garbage is starting to accumulate. So I think they're going to charge me, I think it was $800 to come out and take everything away. So I'm trying to get as much out this weekend as I possibly can. You can see, so the laundry room, no work there. Waiting on materials still. I may go ahead and I can go ahead and work on some of this plumbing if I get some free time, so I may go ahead and do that. But haven't decided yet when I'm going to do that. It's not a rush, but as you can see, garbage is piling up. That's one of the vanities I removed, full of tiles. That's very heavy. 2 garbage cans, half full of tile and miscellaneous objects. And then out here, the pile is really stacking up. So there's my tile workstation. But yeah, I have a pile here. So I'm getting to the point where everything is getting out of control. So I need to get things cleaned up. So that's kind of the goal for the remainder of this week. I think I'm gonna have to head back home for a few days. I've decided not seeing Emily for, well, I guess only seeing her for about 30 hours over the last 10, 12 days is not good. And then not seeing the boys for 12 days is not working either. So I'm going to make a trip home here in a couple of days, waiting for a couple of shipments to come in for shower liners and a few other things. So once those come in, the garbage is out of here. I do have work responsibilities. My corporate office is in Illinois, so I have to head back there for a few days. So, but that's it. I don't know. I may not have an update this weekend since I am taking today off, and I don't see me doing a whole lot other than possibly removing this over the next couple of days. And I do plan on actually finishing this tile floor before I leave. So that should only take, if that took an hour and a half, I do have more cuts now to cut around the toilet drain. door jamb in the closet. So I can see this taking maybe 2.5, 3 hours. So I should knock this out before I leave. So that is my update.